Welcome back to the CryptoMind Business Cast.
Imagine an AI that analyzes mammograms. If its training data was mostly from one ethnic group, and it consistently fails to flag anomalies in scans from another ethnic group.
That's a life or death failure.
Exactly. That system has to adhere to all the SAR requirements.
Yeah.
Rigorous data checks, mandatory human oversight, and a 10-year log of every decision.
That makes the health and safety connection obvious. What about professional life?
That's the second major category. Public sector and employment. This is a big one. It includes AI used in recruitment, personnel selection, and management decisions that impact promotions or termination.
So why is a recruitment algorithm high risk? It just sounds like efficiency.
Because the danger is systemic discrimination on a massive scale. An algorithm trained on historical hiring data might just learn decades of bias against women or minorities and then perpetuate those patterns automatically. If an AI becomes the gatekeeper to a job, it can directly violate fundamental rights.
And that connects directly back to what you said about the recommendations in Mexico that focus on non-discrimination.
It's a clear philosophical thread.
Okay, third category, law enforcement and justice. That sounds like a minefield.
It is. Our sources focus heavily on predictive policing techniques.
So systems used to estimate crime risk or recidivism.
Exactly, especially when it's based on profiling. This covers both predicting where a crime might happen and who is likely to be involved.
I get the potential for harm, but police already use human judgment to decide where to patrol. How is an AI so much riskier?
It's about two things: scale and obfuscation.
Yeah.
If one human officer is biased, it affects a few people. If a national AI system is biased, it can target entire communities exponentially. And second, it can violate the presumption of innocence by flagging people based on associations, not actions.
So it's under heavy scrutiny.
Immense scrutiny. And on top of all that, these systems still have to comply with the GDPR.
Right, the General Data Protection Regulation.
So if you're collecting vast amounts of personal data for profiling, you're facing huge restrictions from GDPR in addition to the RIA compliance.
It's a double whammy. Okay, fourth category, financial services.
Specifically, systems used for assessing someone's creditworthiness or credit score.
Why that specifically?
Because the outcome directly impacts their socioeconomic status. A bad score from an algorithm can block you from getting a house, a loan, even insurance. It's another gatekeeper to opportunity.
So is all financial AI high risk?
No, and this shows the nuance. Systems used for, say, internal fraud detection or anti-money laundering compliance are generally excluded from high-risk status.
Because the direct harm to an individual's rights is lower.
Much lower. That distinction is vital for any fintech company to understand.
And the final category was critical infrastructure.
Yes, this is systems used as safety components in things like power grids, water treatment plants, or air traffic control.
The stakes there are obvious.
An AI failure there could cause systemic collapse or direct harm to public safety. It demands the absolute highest level of scrutiny.
So that covers the systems that are highly regulated.
Yeah.
But the rules also explicitly prohibit certain things entirely.
Yes, they're deemed fundamentally unacceptable no matter what. The prohibitions are all about manipulation and exploitation.
Okay, so what's off limits?
First, AI systems that use subliminal techniques to substantially alter human behavior.
Subliminal techniques.
Sounds, images, things that are beyond conscious perception but are likely to cause physical or psychological harm. The concern is AI's ability to invisibly modify our decision-making.
That sounds like science fiction, but with hyper-personalization, it's becoming possible.
Precisely. And the second prohibition is just as critical. Systems that exploit the vulnerabilities of specific groups.
Such as?
Age, disability, socioeconomic status. If an AI targets elderly citizens with memory issues to push them towards a bad financial product, that's prohibited.
I see. And there's also a specific ban related to monitoring people in certain settings, right?
Yes, a big one. AI systems used to infer emotions in the workplace and in educational settings are banned.
Why that?
It's driven by deep skepticism about both reliability and ethics. Emotion detection tech is notoriously unreliable across cultures, and using it where there's a power imbalance like employer over employee is seen as a massive invasion of privacy.
So it addresses not just the objective failure of the tech, but the potential for misuse because it's so unreliable in the first place.
Exactly. It forces developers to recognize the limits of their own models. Which brings us to the systems that are explicitly excluded.
And what are those?
Notably, systems intended only for military defense or national security purposes.
That seems like a massive loophole.
It's a deliberate exclusion based on national sovereignty. But our sources point out a key contradiction.
Which is?
Military applications often involve things like logistics and data analysis that mirror civil uses. The ethical principles developed for the military, where failure is catastrophic, could actually hold really important lessons for civil regulation.
That's a great point. Why should the standard be lower for civil life?
It's a very good question.
Okay, let's pivot to the practical side. This framework imposes massive obligations on companies. What does compliance actually look like?
The compliance burden is immense. If you provide a high-risk system, you must operate under a documented and updated quality management system. Think of it like ISO standards in manufacturing.
And what's in that quality management system?
It covers everything from design to data. A critical piece is adequate data governance.
Meaning the training data.
The training data, the validation data, all of it. It has to be complete, relevant, and as error-free as possible. And you have to take proactive measures to detect, prevent, and mitigate potential biases.
And this ties right back into GDPR again.
Absolutely. If you're processing sensitive data to train an algorithm, you have to navigate two major regulatory regimes at the same time. You need data scientists who are also legal experts.
So let's talk about the black box problem. Does the EU demand companies reveal their secret source code for transparency?
Transparency is paramount, but it's more of a transparency of experts for experts approach, not full public disclosure.
What does that mean?
It means the high-risk systems have to be designed with enough transparency so that the deployer, like a hospital or an HR department, can understand and correctly use the output.
So the provider has to give them enough information to understand the decisions, even without the code.
Precisely. They have to provide comprehensive technical documentation, information on the system's logic, its limitations. This all links to two concepts, interpretability and explicability.
Let's define those.
Interpretability is about how transparent a model is intrinsically. A simple model is more interpretable. Explicability, on the other hand, is the system's active ability to generate an explanation for its behavior that's adapted to the audience.
And the RIA mandates high explicability for these systems.
Yes. It includes demands for detailed logs of system events, sometimes for up to 10 years, for traceability.
This all suggests the AI isn't really autonomous in these scenarios. Is human oversight a mandatory requirement?
Yes, and it has to be effective by design. That's a crucial mandate. The goal is to ensure humans can intervene, interrupt, or override the system's decisions.
So the human operator has to be competent, trained,
and authorized. The oversight has to be meaningful, not just a symbolic gesture. The AI can't just be a suggestion box that's always followed.
So who checks all this? The scale of enforcement must be daunting.
That falls under the conformity assessment process. It's either a self-assessment by the provider or mandatory checks by a notified body, which is an independent third party.
Welcome to the CryptoMind Business Cast.